In the heart of Washington, D.C., where power lunches, sealed deals, and scandals could topple empires, Ren Harrington stared at the faded family photo on his desk. It showed him as a teenager, standing awkwardly beside his father, Senator Robert Harrington, the man whose ironclad conservative values had built a political dynasty. But that night, as Ren packed his bags in secrecy, he knew the truth his family had buried would change everything. He was gay, and they were about to hide him away like a shameful secret. Ren's world shattered on a crisp autumn evening in 2008, just after his 18th birthday. He had confided in his best friend, Mark, during a late-night study session at their elite prep school in Virginia. Mark, with his easy smile and shared secrets, had leaned in closer than usual, and in a moment of vulnerability, their lips met. It was Ren's first kiss, a spark that ignited something profound. But when his mother, Eleanor, walked in unexpectedly, the room froze. "What is this?" she whispered, her voice laced with horror. By morning, the family machine kicked into gear. Senator Harrington, fresh off a re-election victory on a platform of traditional family values, couldn't afford the scandal. "We love you, son," his father said in the study, his eyes avoiding Ren's. "But this could ruin us all." They shipped him off to a private boarding school in rural Montana, far from prying eyes, with strict instructions. Blend in, stay silent, and never speak of it again. Life in Montana was a stark contrast to the polished corridors of power Ren had known. The school was a haven for troubled heirs of wealthy families, but for Ren, it felt like exile. He threw himself into academics, earning top grades in political science, ironically mirroring his father's path. Yet the isolation gnawed at him. Letters from home were formal, devoid of warmth, always signed with regards instead of love. He made a few friends, but trust was scarce. Then came Ethan, a fellow student from a small-town background, assigned as his roommate in sophomore year. Ethan was outgoing, with a laugh that filled the room and a passion for environmental causes that clashed with Ren's ingrained conservatism. Their late-night debates turned into confessions. "I know what it's like to hide," Ethan admitted one stormy night, revealing his own struggles with identity in a homophobic hometown. Their bond deepened slowly, built on shared vulnerabilities rather than grand gestures. By graduation, they were inseparable, but Ren kept it hidden, fearing his family's reach. Returning to D.C. for college at Georgetown University felt like stepping back into a cage. His parents welcomed him with calculated affection, enrolling him in pre-law courses to groom him for the family legacy. But the city buzzed with change, Obama's election, the growing push for gay rights. Ren attended secret meetings of the campus LGBTQ+ group, where he met activists who challenged his views. Ethan visited often, their relationship a quiet anchor amid the chaos. One evening, over coffee in a dimly lit cafe, Ethan pressed him. "Why do you let them control you? You're not their puppet." Ren hesitated, the weight of expectation heavy. His father's re-election campaign was ramping up, and any whisper of scandal could derail it. But inside, resentment brewed. Why should he sacrifice his happiness for votes? The first major conflict erupted during Thanksgiving dinner in 2012. The Harrington mansion in Renandria was filled with donors and political allies. Senator Harrington toasted to defending American families, railing against the radical agenda of marriage equality. Ren, seated quietly, felt his face flush. Later, in the kitchen, he confronted his mother. "You sent me away because of who I am. How is that defending family?" Eleanor sighed, her perfectly manicured hands trembling. "It was for your protection, Ren. The world isn't ready." But Ren saw the hypocrisy. His father's public stance clashed with private tolerance of allies' indiscretions. That night he called Ethan voice-breaking. "I can't do this anymore." Their conversation stretched into dawn, solidifying Ren's resolve to live authentically, even if it meant fracturing ties. As years passed, Ren graduated law school and took a job at a progressive think tank, focusing on civil rights. It was a deliberate rebellion, clashing with his father's conservative network. Ethan moved to D.C., working as an environmental lobbyist, and they built a life together in a modest apartment in DuPont Circle. Their relationship was steady, marked by small acts of love, cooking dinners after long days, walking hand in hand in safe neighborhoods. But societal pressures lingered. Friends questioned why Ren didn't come out publicly, given his family's prominence. "It's complicated," he'd say, but the truth was fear. His father's influence loomed large, with whispers of grooming Ren as successor. Yet, in 2015, when the Supreme Court legalized same-sex marriage, Ren and Ethan celebrated quietly, exchanging promises in a park under cherry blossoms. "One day we'll make it official," Ethan said, his eyes hopeful. Tensions escalated in 2018 when Senator Harrington faced a tough primary challenge. Rumors swirled about his son's alternative lifestyle, fueled by anonymous leaks. Ren suspected insiders, perhaps even family allies testing loyalty. Confronting his father in the Senate office, Ren demanded answers. "Did you leak it?" The senator's face hardened. "I protected you. Now protect us." The argument devolved into shouts, with Ren storming out. That night, Ethan held him as he cried, urging him to break free. "You deserve better." The incident sparked Ren's first public step, an anonymous op-ed in a liberal outlet, critiquing conservative hypocrisy on family values. It went viral, drawing praise and backlash. His mother called, pleading, "Think of your sister, the family." But Ren felt liberated, the chains loosening. By 2020, the pandemic forced introspection. Isolated in their apartment, Ren and Ethan discussed futures. Ethan proposed during a Zoom call with friends, a simple ring exchanged in lockdown. They married in a small ceremony, attended by supportive colleagues but not family. The exclusion stung, but it fueled Ren's ambition. Watching his father's virtual town halls, spouting outdated rhetoric, Ren realized the seat represented more than legacy. It was a platform for change. Whispers of retirement circulated, but Senator Harrington announced another run. Ren confided in Ethan, "What if I challenged him?" Ethan's support was unwavering, though he warned of the toll. The decision crystallized in 2022. Ren launched his campaign for the Senate seat, positioning himself as a moderate Democrat, emphasizing equality and reform. The announcement rocked the political world. Son versus father, a family feud on national stage. Media dubbed it the Harrington Civil War. His platform highlighted personal stories, subtly alluding to his identity without full disclosure. Crowds cheered at rallies, but backlash was fierce. Conservative pundits labeled him a traitor, while progressives questioned his authenticity. At home, Ethan managed the emotional fallout, reminding Ren of their shared strength. The campaign trail was grueling. In debates, Senator Harrington avoided personal attacks, focusing on policy, but the subtext was clear. Experience matters, he'd say, implying Ren's youth and lifestyle as liabilities. A leaked email from a family advisor called Ren unfit, igniting outrage. Ren responded with poise, turning it into a teachable moment on acceptance. Ethan's presence at events drew scrutiny. Photographers captured their subtle touches, sparking tabloid frenzy. "Is the son's partner influencing policy?" Headlines screamed. Ren addressed it head-on in a town hall. "My personal life is just that, personal. But love is universal." The crowd applauded, but polls tightened. Family rifts deepened. His sister, Claire, torn between loyalties, met him secretly. "Dad's heartbroken," she said, tears flowing. "But I'm proud of you." The encounter humanized the conflict, reminding Ren of lost bonds. Ethan, ever the rock, faced his own challenges, harassment from online trolls targeting their relationship. One night, after a threatening message, Ethan confessed doubts. "Is this worth it?" Ren held him close. "For us, for others like us, yes." Their recommitment strengthened resolve. As Election Day neared in 2024, scandals erupted. An old classmate outed Ren publicly, sharing Montana stories. Instead of denying, Ren embraced it in a press conference. "I've hidden too long. I'm gay, married to the love of my life, and that makes me stronger." The revelation polarized voters. Support surged from LGBTQ+ communities, but conservatives mobilized. Senator Harrington issued a statement, "I love my son, but our visions differ." It was a rare vulnerability hinting at regret. The final debate was electric. Father and son on stage trading barbs on healthcare, economy, and rights. When asked about family, Wren paused. Family should uplift, not suppress. The audience sensed the pain. Polls showed a dead heat. On election night, results trickled in. Wren paced their campaign headquarters, Ethan by his side. As networks called it for Wren by a slim margin, cheers erupted. But victory was bittersweet. His father's concession call was brief. "Congratulations. You've earned it." No warmth, just resignation. In the aftermath, Wren took the oath, Ethan watching proudly. Reforms followed, bills for equality, drawing on personal experience. Yet, scars remained. Family gatherings were awkward, reconciliation slow. The Senate chamber echoed with the weight of history as Wren Harrington delivered his maiden speech. "We must bridge divides, not widen them," he declared. His voice steady despite the butterflies. Colleagues nodded, some warily. His win had upended the old guard. Back in his office, Ethan waited with a bottle of sparkling cider. "You did it," he said, pulling Wren into an embrace. Their kiss lingered, a quiet celebration amid the chaos. But the transition wasn't seamless. Protests outside the Capitol targeted his agenda. Signs reading "Family First," a stark reminder of his father's base. Wren brushed it off publicly, but privately, doubts crept in. Had he destroyed his family for ambition? Claire visited the next week, her first since the election. Over lunch in a quiet DC bistro, she shared updates. Mom's withdrawn. Dad's talking retirement for real. Wren's heart ached. "I never wanted to hurt them." Claire squeezed his hand. "But you had to live your truth." Their conversation turned to childhood memories, laughter mixing with tears. It was a tentative step toward healing, but the chasm felt wide. Ethan encouraged outreach. "Family evolves," he said, drawing from his own reconciled past. Legislative battles began in earnest. Wren sponsored a bill expanding LGBTQ+ protections in workplaces, drawing bipartisan support but fierce opposition from conservatives. During committee hearings, a veteran senator echoed his father's rhetoric. "This erodes traditional values." Wren countered calmly, sharing anonymized stories of discrimination. The exchange went viral, boosting his profile but painting him as a radical. Media scrutiny intensified. Profiles dissected his marriage, questioning if Ethan's environmental ties influenced policy. "It's exhausting," Wren admitted to Ethan one evening, collapsing on the couch. Ethan massaged his shoulders. "We're in this together." Their partnership, tested by public glare, grew deeper through shared resilience. A major conflict arose with a foreign policy vote. Senator Harrington, now a private citizen but influential lobbyist, publicly opposed Wren's stance on trade deals affecting LGBTQ+ rights abroad. "My son's idealism overlooks realities," he told CNN. The betrayal stung. Wren responded in an op-ed, "Principles over politics." The feud reignited media frenzy, with pundits debating family loyalty versus public duty. Ethan worried about Wren's health. The stress lines etched deeper. "Take a break," he urged. They escaped to a cabin in the Blue Ridge Mountains, reconnecting through hikes and heartfelt talks. "I chose this path because of you," Wren said under starlit skies. Ethan's reply, "And I'd choose you every time." Back in DC, social pressures mounted. Invitations to galas came with caveats. Some donors shunned him, others embraced. At a fundraiser, an old family friend cornered him. "Your father built this party. You're tearing it down." Wren held firm. "I'm building something better." The encounter highlighted generational clashes, fueling Wren's determination. He mentored young LGBTQ+ staffers, sharing his story to inspire. One in turn, facing coming-out fears, thanked him tearfully. Moments like these validated the struggle. Personal life intertwined with professional. Ethan launched a nonprofit for climate justice, their causes aligning in joint events. But controversy struck when a bill Ren supported clashed with environmental groups, including Ethan's. "How can you back this?" Ethan asked, frustration evident. Their argument escalated the first major rift. "It's compromise," Ren defended. "Everything's political." Hurt, Ethan slept on the couch. Reconciliation came slowly, through honest dialogue. "We can't let work divide us," Ethan said. They emerged stronger, setting boundaries. By 2026, Ren's term midway, a national crisis tested him. A Supreme Court nomination battle spotlighted rights issues. His father's old allies lobbied against the progressive nominee. Ren, on the Judiciary Committee, grilled the candidate on equality. His questions, informed by lived experience, swayed moderates. The confirmation passed narrowly, a win for progress. But backlash included death threats, forcing security details. Ethan feared for their safety. Is power worth this? Ren pondered but pushed on. Family reconciliation inched forward. At Claire's wedding, Ren and Ethan attended, seated apart from parents. A brief conversation with his father in the garden. "I'm proud of what you've achieved." It wasn't full acceptance, but a crack in the armor. Eleanor hugged him tightly. "We've missed you." Emotions swirled, forgiveness tentative. As Ren's re-election loomed, scandals from the past resurfaced. A former aide leaked emails suggesting campaign improprieties tied to his identity. Investigations cleared him, but damage lingered. Polls dipped. Ethan rallied supporters, organizing grassroots efforts. "Your story resonates," he said. Ren's comeback speech focused on resilience. "I've faced rejection from those closest, yet here I stand." The campaign revealed societal shifts. Younger voters embraced his authenticity, while older demographics split. Debates with opponents highlighted contrasts. Ren's empathy versus rigid ideology. A pivotal moment. An endorsement from a conservative group praising his bipartisanship. It bridged divides, boosting momentum. Election night echoed the past. As results favored Ren, he called his father. "Thank you for the foundation." The response, "You've surpassed it." A semblance of peace. Reflecting on triumphs and trials, Ren authored a memoir, detailing the emotional toll of hiding and emerging. It sparked national conversations on acceptance. With Ethan, they adopted a rescue dog, symbolizing new beginnings. Yet, questions lingered about sacrifices made. Midway through his second term, Ren Harrington found himself at the center of a brewing storm over education policy. His bill to include LGBTQ+ history in school curricula drew national attention, praised by advocates but decried as indoctrination by opponents. Protests outside his office featured signs echoing his father's old campaigns. "Protect our children." Ren addressed the crowd from the steps, voice amplified. "Education fosters understanding, not fear." Cheers and boos mingled, encapsulating the divide. Back inside, Ethan reviewed press clippings. "You're making waves," he said with a proud smile. But the toll was evident. Sleepless nights, strained conversations. A personal crisis hit when Ethan's father passed unexpectedly. The funeral in rural Ohio exposed old wounds. Ethan's family, long accepting but distant, welcomed Ren warmly. Yet, whispers from extended relatives stung. Politics aside, he's family now, Ethan's mother defended. The trip prompted reflection. On the flight home, Ren held Ethan's hand. "We've built our own family." It reinforced their bond, but highlighted isolation from Ren's side. Legislative alliances shifted. Ren collaborated with unlikely partners on criminal justice reform, earning respect across aisles. But betrayal came from within. A staffer leaked sensitive info, tying back to conservative networks. Investigations pointed to remnants of his father's influence. Confronting him over dinner, Ren demanded, "Why sabotage your own son?" The senator, aged but sharp, replied, "I disagree with your methods, not your goals." The admission revealed layers, pride mixed with disapproval. Reconciliation faltered, but dialogue opened. Societal backlash intensified with a viral video of Ren and Ethan at a Pride event, dancing carefree. Conservatives weaponized it, claiming distraction from real issues. Ren's response podcast went mega. My life isn't a distraction. It's representation. Listenership soared, humanizing him. Ethan co-hosted episodes, sharing their journey. Love isn't political, he said. The platform fostered empathy, but invited trolls. Security tightened after a stalking incident. Claire's pregnancy brought family closer. Ren visited, gifting baby clothes. Uncle duties await, he joked. Eleanor joined, tentative warmth emerging. We've all made mistakes. Tears flowed as they reminisced. His father lingered in the background, offering a nod. Progress slow but real. A major bill on healthcare equity for LGBTQ+ communities faced filibuster. Ren's impassioned floor speech drew on personal anecdotes. I hid for years, fearing rejection. No one should. It swayed key votes, passing narrowly. Celebration with Ethan included a quiet dinner. Your voice matters, Ethan whispered. But controversy erupted over foreign aid tied to human rights. Ren supported conditions on countries with anti-gay laws, clashing with business interests. Protests from both sides. Activists demanding more, corporations less. A heated town hall saw accusations of overreach. Who are you to dictate? A voter shouted. Ren replied, someone who's lived the consequences. The exchange highlighted ethical dilemmas. Personal growth continued. Ren and Ethan volunteered at youth shelters, mentoring at-risk LGBTQ+ teens. One boy's story mirrored Ren's. Family rejection. You can thrive, Ren encouraged. Healed old scars. As 2030 approached, retirement rumors swirled for Ren, but a national movement urged him for higher office. Ethan hesitated. We've sacrificed enough. Debates ensued, testing their relationship. What about us? Ethan asked. Ren paused. You're my priority. They recommitted, planning a vow renewal. Family ties strengthened at the baby's birth. Holding his nephew, Ren felt completeness. His father, teary-eyed, said, You've taught me. A breakthrough. Reflecting on the arc, Ren pondered if change justified pain. Entering his final years in the Senate, Ren Harrington championed climate legislation, aligning with Ethan's passion. Their joint advocacy events drew crowds, blending personal and professional. But opposition from fossil fuel lobbies, some tied to his father's past donors, created friction. A leaked memo accused Ren of nepotism reversed, using family name for gain. He countered an oppressor. I earned this seat through truth, not ties. The scandal fizzled, but trust eroded. Ethan's nonprofit faced funding cuts, retaliation suspected. This is dirty politics, Ethan fumed. Ren investigated through committees, uncovering improprieties. Exposés led to reforms, vindicating them. Their partnership shone as a model of support. Societal evolution was evident at a national conference on equality. Ren keynote, sharing his story, from hidden to heard. Applause thundered. But a panel debate turned contentious when a conservative challenged, Does personal identity trump policy? Ren replied, It informs it. The exchange sparked online discourse, amplifying voices. Family holidays normalized. Thanksgiving at the Harrington estate included Ethan, conversations flowing easier. His father shared regrets. I was wrong to hide you. Ren forgave. We move forward. Bonds mended through time. A health scare for Eleanor united them. Ren rushed to the hospital, Ethan by side. Recovery vigils fostered closeness. Thank you for being here, his mother said to Ethan. Acceptance bloomed. Legislative legacy culminated in a bipartisan act on mental health for marginalized communities. Signing ceremony featured stories from beneficiaries. Ren's closing. Healing starts with visibility. Post-Senate, Ren and Ethan relocated to a quiet Virginia farm, writing and advocating. Their memoir, co-authored, inspired a generation. Looking back, Ren questioned the path. In retirement, Ren and Ethan traveled, speaking at universities. Their story resonated, sparking debates on authenticity in politics. Ren mentored aspiring leaders, emphasizing emotional honesty. One evening, watching their nephew play, Ren reflected on choices. Family dinners now included laughter. Past conflicts faded echoes. Yet, the journey's cost lingered in quiet moments. Had the public battle been necessary, or could private reconciliation suffice? Was Ren justified in publicly challenging his father's seat, or did family loyalty demand silence?